Hi, my name is Katie Schrodt. I work in the College of Education at Middle Tennessee State University. I'm going to talk to you today about choosing and using diverse children's picture books, whether you're working at home with your child or you're a teacher at school. A seminal essay by Rudine Sims Bishop brought forth the idea that books can help us understand each other by better helping change our attitudes toward difference. She said that books can serve as mirrors, a place where we can see ourselves reflected back through the characters and stories. They can also serve as windows where we can peer into the lives and experiences of others. In special cases, books can be sliding glass doors where we can step into the worlds different than our own, walk in the shoes of others, and become more and more empathetic and loving towards those that are different than us. Books allow for a kind of social rehearsal, a springboard for conversations that may otherwise be more difficult to have. Books allow for diverse voices to be heard and historically marginalized stories to be told. In this video, I'm going to show you where you can find high-quality, diverse children's books to engage your little readers at home and at school, and one reading strategy that could be used across many different books to help your young reader gain a deeper understanding of the people and characters in the books. First, let's take a look at some tried and true book award lists so you can be sure you're picking a great book to read with your child or your classroom. First, we have the Pura Belpre Book Award. This best portrays the Latinx experience. One of my favorites, Planting Stories, The Life of Librarian and Storyteller Pura Belpre by Anika Aldamui Denise. This is an inspiring picture book biography of storyteller, puppeteer, and New York City's first Puerto Rican librarian who championed bilingual literature. If your young child loves nonfiction books, then you need to check out Orbis Pictus Book Award. This is Outstanding Nonfiction Books for Children. A favorite winner of mine, Manhattan, Mapping the Story of an Island by Jennifer Therms. This book uses maps and vivid illustrations and words to tell the 400-year-old story of the island of Manhattan. Next is the Stonewall Award. This best portrays the LGBTQIA+ experience. And this year's winner is awesome, When Aiden Became a Brother by Kyle Lukoff. It celebrates the changes in a young transgender boy's life. Then we have the Schneider Family Book Award, gives the disability experience. One of my favorite winners is A Friend for Henry by Jen Bailey. This story is told from the perspective of a boy, Henry, who is on the autism spectrum, and he's looking for a friend. Next, we have the Coretta Scott King Book Award. This is the African American experience. Another favorite is The Undefeated by Kwame Alexander and Kadir Nelson. This book is a poem. The author describes it as a love letter to Black life in the United States. It features present-day and historical Black heroes. The Ezra Jack Keats Book Award celebrates new bookmakers to advance diversity in children's literature. Small in the City by Sydney Smith portrays a child searching in the city alone, and you're wondering what he's looking for. He's hoping a kitty friend is safe and finds its way home. And lastly, we have the Charlotte Huck Award. This is for excellence in the writing of fiction for children that has the potential for transforming children's lives by inviting compassion, imagination, and wonder. And you're going to find those things in Room on Our Rock, written by Kate and Joel Temple. There are two ways to read this story. When read from left to right, the seals in the story believe there is definitely no room on their rock for others. But when you read the book backward, the seals welcome others to shelter on their rock. It is a heartwarming story about sharing and compassion. It is important to consider both a child's reading level and their interests when choosing a book. An amazing virtual book room created by Claire Landrigan can be found here. The books are organized by level, genre, and interest, and even compiled into text sets. So if you're at home teaching your kid, you can use this resource. So now that we know how to choose great, high-quality, diverse literature, let's talk about a strategy to support comprehension of these books. Good readers think about characters and how they develop all the way across a story. They think about the outside external characteristics, such as the way they look, the things they do in the story. They ask, where do their feet travel in the story? What do their eyes see or their ears hear? Then the reader thinks even deeper, moving into the inside features of the characters. What is the character thinking? How is the character feeling? So I'm going to show you a quick strategy, an effective reading response strategy based on Kathy Schrodt's 2009 Cultural X-ray. We're going to call this a character X-ray. So let's take, for example, A Friend for Henry by John Bailey. So if I'm working on this with a child, I'll draw a picture of the main character, Henry. I'll ask myself these questions. Where did Henry's feet go in the story? What did his eyes see? What did his hands touch? And what did his ears hear? What did his nose smell? What did his mouth say? So thinking quite literally, we can walk through the pages of the book and see these external literal features. So for example, Henry's feet, they went into classroom 6. You also see his feet standing at the bottom of the slide. His eyes, they see the rainbow fingernails of one of his friends. They see 3 crackers instead of 2 at snack time, and they see Gilly the fish. His hands, they're touching carpet squares in the book, swings and blocks. In his ears, they hear the word sure when he's asking to play with a friend. Then I will think about each external thing I wrote down and ask myself, when Henry's eyes saw the 3 crackers instead of 2, how did he feel in his heart? What was he thinking in his head? Well, he was frustrated and he was sad. When his hands touched the carpet squares, he was so excited for reading time and he was proud of his work. But soon his feelings changed when his classmate ripped apart the rug squares. In his head, Henry became confused and angry and even shouted, "A friend listens." In this strategy, we are going from the literal to the abstract. We're building from the external to get to the more difficult internal features of a character. This strategy can be used with nonfiction books as well. For example, let's talk about Pura Belpré. When her hands were touching the books on the shelves for the first time, what is going on in her head and her heart? She's thinking that there are no stories from her home of Puerto Rico on the shelves. She's imagining how she might share those stories with her new position at the library. You could go on and continue a deeper understanding of Pura as her feet move to new places, like when she meets her husband and leaves the library, and her hands touch new things, like homemade puppets to tell the stories of Puerto Rico to young children. This strategy can be used across many books in order to help students gain a deeper understanding of a person or a character. You can even compare character X-rays across multiple characters in a book. It is important that children see themselves in the characters of the books we choose. It is also important for us to see the stories of other people, creating windows into a diverse world.